Caitlin Clark almost unanimous -1. Angel Reese received 1 vote, 1 first place vote for Rookie of the Year. Stupid decision, because it compromises what your ultimate goal is. A WNBA legend was caught red-handed for plotting against the Rookie of the Year competition, and Caitlin Clark, nobody knew which season player had gone above and beyond to persuade that one reporter to vote against Clark until now. But now that there is hard proof against her, you may also be disappointed, because even though she has been quietly fuming with jealousy, you have likely been rooting for her the entire season, because you think she is a true icon. It looks like there is a voter out there who is in favor of Angel Reese. I say to someone, to be fair, it's possible that two people cast votes, one for MVP and the other for Rookie of the Year for Angel Reese. Why it took this legend ages to develop yet, and just one season Clark stole the show. Do you need help? While the so-called icon won the biggest WNBA title of the year on the same day that Caitlin Clark signed Roe, have a moniker in mind. Prepare yourself. If you believe you have it all figured out, there is much more to this tale than just one negative vote that someone is making fun of Angel Reese, because these are supposed to be media personnel or sports enthusiasts. These are the individuals that write and broadcast on sports, right? And up until now, I assure you that you have only been given the most basic statistics. For example, Caitlin Clark averaged an incredible 192 points a game, delivered 84 assists as if they were candy, and grabbed 57 rebounds. For good measure, it may sound spectacular, but that is only the tip of the iceberg. Even more absurd is the fact that Clark didn't receive a unanimous Rookie of the Year vote despite dominating practically every rookie stat imaginable. We wanted to know if you wanted to spread the word about the league or not, and some, like Andrea, were against that factor being taken into consideration when choosing who should be on the roster. Nope, rather to every single vote going to the clear winner. Angel Reese, the Rookie with the Chicago Sky, only garnered 1 vote. This was no coincidence either. It was the kind of crazy play that left spectators holding their heads up and analysts scratching their brains high. Because let's be honest, Caitlin Clark was the Rookie who genuinely earned each and every vote. To be honest, why didn't she see the implications of her vote on loon strains when everything was said and done? Caitlin won Rookie of the Year with 66 out of 67 votes, supporting the argument that having her on the roster rather than someone more deserving would have hurt the game. There is a significant amount of consensus among the 24 local journalists and 43 national sports writers that voted from various WNBA markets. So, how can one absentee ballot pass? It goes beyond someone's wish to rebel or have a different perspective. This vote was intended to ensure that Caitlin Clark's record wouldn't be perfect, and it seemed like a sucker punch to a flawless season, and that's when the delicious stuff starts to happen. For this was more than simply a chance to give Angel Reese a shout-out. This has to do with someone attempting to ruin Caitlin's flawless row sweep, but to whom not Cheryl Swoops. Nope, she lacks the ability to cast the ballot in this competition. So, let's abandon that hypothesis, because everyone had the same question when it was revealed that journalist Cameron Duncan was the source of this lone vote. For what reason is Reese? Although Reese's numbers were respectable, they were not even close to Clark's season-long record-breaking run. Why then did Duncan choose to support her with his vote? However, rumors have it that this wasn't just Duncan acting strangely. According to rumors, A.O. Wilson, the WNBA star, had a hand in it. Yes, that A.A. Wilson who has been sweeping the league and winning awards left and right. However, why would a famous person like Wilson get engaged in a vote for WHA? That is so trivial. This is where the fun really starts. In 2024, A.A. Wilson made history by becoming the first player to win the MVP award unanimously since Cynthia Cooper in 1997. She received all 67 votes, making her the only player in the modern WNBA's history to win MVP honors unanimously. Now, many of you have been wondering why the WNBA hasn't discussed its Rookie of the Year award since Caitlin Clark. Well, no prizes have been announced, but Caitlin Clark quickly rose through the ranks and posed a threat to eclipse Wilson's brief tenure in the NBA, and suddenly Wilson wasn't going to let an inexperienced waltz take away the one thing that made her special, an impeccable record. According to reports, Wilson stepped in when Clark started getting row-booted to stop Caitlin from winning Rookie of the Year with a unanimous vote, which is when the conflict truly began. According to accounts, Wilson pressured Duncan to back Ree in order to keep Clark from winning by unanimous vote, hence Duncan's vote was prearranged and not a random act. Wilson wanted to keep Clark from winning the WHA award unanimously and becoming the only player with that kind of flawless record. It wasn't that Ree deserved it more. In fact, she wasn't even close. Instead, it was more about Clark threatening Wilson's legacy than it was about Clark being a threat at the moment. So, she used Duncan as a pawn in her plan. Why don't you like it? I asked Angel Reese. What makes you dislike black people? You're black. So, Why don't you? They've made it a racial issue and made it seem like you can't stand her. Additionally, I'm making it into a basketball match. Angel, as a former coach and player with keen vision, knew he would not win Rookie of the Year because it wasn't a real competition. How does all of this relate to Reese? To be honest, she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, even though her numbers were respectable, but not raw material nevertheless. She was the perfect diversion, someone whose name would generate enough debate for Wilson to survive. Reese got some unwarranted attention. Both Wilson and Duncan were criticized, but she was able to relax and pretend that she had not been involved up until this point, for the league to witness. Additionally, people like Molly have stepped in and claimed that athletes like Clark lack the skills to be leveling charges against a jaw in the first place really at all. So Clark can score nearly 20 points in the game, but suddenly she can't even call out questionable behavior when it suits Molly. If you think that's the conclusion, let's pretend that numbers don't matter. Think again. This was a message sending power play, not just Clark missing out on a landslide vote, despite the fact that Caitlin Clark is currently the hottest name in the NBA. Wilson is still the queen, and if someone tries to encroach on her territory, they will soon realize who is really in charge. As a result, even though one mistaken vote marred Clark's victory as Rookie of the Year, it also revealed a whole new level of ego conflicts in league politics, because even though Clark isn't concerned about it, what about the fans who are furious? And the league's reputation has just suffered greatly. Can we all just agree that the WNBA has no idea what it is doing with Caitlin Clark? The WNBA seems to be trying to act as though nothing happened, expecting the public to forget and the tempest to go away. However, Caitlin Clark and the fans won't forget it, because the entire sport suffers when a unanimous Rookie of the Year victory is stolen from more than one player, and even though AA Wilson may have. Thanks for watching and subscribe my